sometimes things come up in the same hours of the same day.
Yeah.
All right, so how's Stradic going? Well, we can skip it today, I think, if we need to. Or would you like to play it?
I'll play a little bit of it.
Okay.
I finished that other page and then started on number 3.
Great.
I'll do some of number 3.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. It's going well. I liked that you were being consistent. You're thinking about bow usage. I would stretch yourself on the bow usage sometimes and do the whole thing under one bow, or even fewer under one bow. Just kind of, using it to also practice all of those different kinds of bow distribution as well.
Okay.
Good. Okay. What would you like to start with, Bach or Clark?
Let's start with Clark.
Okay. Good. All right, lots of nice things. Including just I felt like you were invested in it, and I felt that investment, and so I was invested in it. And I think that is really far and away the most important thing right there, right? That's the thing. That's the music. I think there are a couple of things that can make all of that investment pay off even more. One is at the beginning, this is kind of a weird, I think you have, it's sort of an unconventional opening in some ways for this sort of a lullaby. There's something that I think can feel almost martial about it, like a little bit, I don't know, martial or maybe overly masculine in like the most stereotypical sense of that word, and kind of like maybe a little bit muscular about it. I don't know. I wonder if it needs us to soften or maybe reinterpret a little bit. I wondered, instead of going for strength and like power at the beginning, what if it was about kind of mystery and intrigue? It's a really vague ask that I'm giving you for a minute here. But if you're going to play this a little bit less powerful, a little bit less muscular, and instead favoring kind of softness and mystery and intrigue and kind of questioning, how would you do that technically? What are some things you could do to kind of soften it that way?
I think I would maybe be a little less heavy with my bow, but I still want to be getting all the sound.
Yeah, I think the weight is really good. I think maybe it's what happens at the beginning and ends of notes.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
It just comes off more soft and then goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
So maybe a little bit more sinuous, a little more ribbon. You know, kind of everything is connected. It doesn't mean it's always like, it doesn't mean there are no breaks or anything, but everything sort of flows and swirls instead of sits where it is or marches on regularly. Maybe a little less regular. I don't know. Can you try the beginning again with maybe a little less regularity, more of that kind of sumptuousness, that sort of very rich, beautiful tone, but kind of avoiding any accents that we don't want, right? Maybe less accented, more gentle in the approach and how you leave a note, and then still with that nice bloom and weight to the sound. Let's try it. McKatie, I like that. I liked that a lot.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's the approach to this beginning. And I think there are points where we do sort of get into that more hard-nosed sound. And then it's a tool and a style choice. But I think that's where this lives. I think that's the default. I think there may even be a little bit more sound we can pull out.
Yeah.
Can you try this with bent knees once?
Yeah.
Like bend those knees, stay there in kind of that squat. And think tall scroll. did you feel in that process? Anything stick out to you from what your body wanted to do or didn't want to do?
I think like I did want to drop. I don't know if it's like the beat.
It's the beat.
Okay.
I think we need less beat.
Yeah. I've been noticing that. The last week I've had to really work on it.
It's one of those
But
things
it's
where
also
we
'cause
always
I-
need it inside.
Yeah, and
It just can't be outside. It's internal versus external. And this is actually another really good thing that bent knees helps with, because you're so aware of it. It takes so much effort to actually bob
Mm-hmm.
when your rib cage is spread like that. So good. I'm glad you noticed that. I think the beat's the least interesting thing about this. So beat is there, but it's like, it's here. Everything else is like more interesting than that. Okay, let's try it again. Same thing, and just almost, I don't know. I think ribbon, like that satiny ribbon. Can you kind of like feel that satiny ribbon in your fingers? You feel how that, can you picture how that feels? What that cloth is like. Maybe it's like, I don't know, whatever your favorite color is, but on sort of the darker side. It's just beautiful, and you like want to have a whole dress made out of it because it just feels so good on your fingers. Like, let's go for that tactile thing. And the way that ribbons move, right? Ribbons, that kind of a ribbon, where it just, there's this kind of flow to when it moves. There's resistance. It's not like a feather, but there's a smoothness to it and an unctuousness to it. Yeah. The beat doesn't ever enter in. Good. Okay, how did that feel this time? What did you hear? What did you feel that you liked or you didn't like?
I was wondering about the eighth notes, if they were too.
Like da 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 da. Those the triplets or
No, so it's da 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 da
da da da da ya da da da. Well, here's what you asked. Okay, let me play it with you. Close your eyes. Which one did you like more? Like, don't worry about this. Which one did you like more?
I don't know yet.
I'm gonna do it again. Or maybe not even like. Which one felt more appropriate to the piece? What do you think?
The first one.
I don't think there's a right and wrong answer here. I think this becomes about your taste. And even, I mean, we're going to kind of hear this again, right? So it could even just be different the next time. I don't think there's this is where we move out of the right and wrong into interpretation and what you want to say right then. The first one, I was definitely, like, this was the high point of the phraselet, and these were smooth and really legato. I guess this is kind of the same, but they were very legato, and they were focused towards here. The second time, I kind of made a big deal out of each of these, and these were not legato, they were more portato, right? I went to that because I wanted to emphasize this little sigh kind of thing. Here, the second time I was sort of making these a little bit sobbing. And this was sort of a result of that rather than the goal of that. See how that works? And I'm not sure those are the only two answers either. But I think both of those could be right and both of them could be wrong. And it's really not about good or bad, it's about what do you want to say right there. So what do you want to say right there? That's the question. Yeah. And then you use your technique to say that. So why don't you try it just the two ways I tried it, since it's a good jumping off point, and then it might be way number 7 that you choose, and that's fine because it's yours and not mine. But let's try it a couple of ways, and so we can kind of explore how to make that happen. So let's go. The first time, I think there is something a little bit sad that's happening here. Like it's not even that something truly terrible has happened. It's that maybe life is just a little bit sad and I'm thinking about it. Or maybe I'm just in that moment where everything feels heavy, kind of like the end of a term. So so I'm thinking about that, but it's where do I want the ultimate expression of that to be. So the first time, let's put it on that F. And that's where you finally breathe out. Let's try that. Good. Think a little more globally rather than locally for the timing and the stretch, meaning if it happens over one or even just over 2 notes, sometimes it just feels like we're changing something, but if the whole thing gets a little bit bigger, like the whole measure is instead of that's what I mean. Alright, so you play around with that. Now let's try it the second way where those they're just like little sobs. Maybe big sobs. Like each one of them. You ever been crying and you kind of almost like you kind of start to hiccup? Like the hiccups, and then finally they go away. Like finally the air bubble releases, whatever it is. Crisis fast. without actually stopping the bow. So you're still slurring, it's still legato, but it's just each of them has their own profile. Pa, ha, ha, instead of ta, 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 it's ha, 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 ha. Something like that. So you can just sort of decide which one fits the moment, and maybe they get more impassioned as the piece goes on. Or maybe this is it, and the other is a memory of that. Or maybe those are the decisions to make that you're ready to make now because you've got the piece in hand. You know it well. You're working on these sort of refining moments. Those are good things to refine. I think there's no reason for triplets to always be even. That is such a boring way to play, right? Triplets don't always have to be exactly the same. That would do injustice to them. But there is one thing that I sometimes hear that I think we should avoid a little bit. In these, most of the time they're very good. Sometimes they start a little too late and they go a little too fast, so it sounds like a tie plus 2/16 instead of triplet eighths. Start them sooner and then have them take more time. They don't even have to take the same amount of more time. They could be slightly different lengths from each other and they could be different each time, but I think if they start a little sooner in the note, then they won't feel like 16ths. Bum, pa, 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 dum. Like there's nothing 16th-y about that. Whereas bum, pa, 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 dum. Right? So I think avoid the 16ths, but otherwise they're fair game.
Okay.
Q try, just that one's fine. So maybe go start the piece and then move through that. I think that is like perfect for later. I think that's like perfect for when you already have established them. I think those kinds of things. Let's try one at the beginning that is more of the solid triplet to establish the pattern so that then we can start to mess with the pattern later. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I wanted you to try that to kind of find some ways to work around it. Now, at the beginning, let's establish the softness because there's something so soft about triplets. So much softer than ta 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 ta, like petting a dog. So, or even a cat. Petting a cat. If you pet a cat like this, that cat is either going to scratch you or run or both. Right? You don't know where that cat is anymore. Dog's like, what did I do? So pet the cat there, nice and soft. Okay. So establish it and then mess with it. Starting to find some interest, and you found lots of different ways to say it. I'd say this week find like all the ways you can think of to say it and then pick the ones you like the best. And repetition is fine. In fact, repetition is really wonderful sometimes, right? And then it's like, okay, then decide where the line is of all right, I've repeated. Now it's time to change something up. Or this one feels a little more impassioned. Or this one feels a little more contemplative. That's the fun part. So you've already found your colors. You've put them on your palette. You've already painted everything. Now it's the shading. And maybe we lighten that up over there. Maybe we make that a little darker over there. Yeah.
Cool.
Creating texture. Good. This is going to be beautiful. Did we get through it?
Yeah.
We got through it. Okay. I'm doubting myself here. Let's go to Bach. Have you met with Lucy again?
No, but we're meeting this afternoon.
I know she let a couple others go. I think she was feeling overscheduled, so hopefully that'll help her feel better about the scores.
Mm-hmm.
It's just happening. Well, let's stop there. This is like such good work on this. I'm hearing details, and I'm hearing that you're saying real things with it. And that is really excellent to hear. I wonder, oh my gosh, you're just gonna kill me for saying it. You ready? I think you care too much. Is that the most ridiculous thing I could say to you right now?
I guess I want to hear more. What makes you say that?
I think it's too slow, and I think there's too much time for you to care.
Okay.
And I don't think it's too slow because you can't play it faster. I think you can. No, you're like, but I can't. I'm thinking ahead. No, I think you've got too much time to panic, is what I think. I wonder, can we try it from the beginning? Like it is easy. Just like you're playing this and people are like, wow, that sounds great. And they have absolutely no idea that it's hard at all. You and I know differently.
Yeah.
But I think we're missing the joy of it. I'm hearing so many good decisions. And what I think is that if you make those decisions within a little bit faster, a little bit more carefree format, then they just go, wow. It's very exciting. You try it faster than you're comfortable with, and then just kind of live in the discomfort is like, well, it's kind of fun to live on the edge. A little more drag racing, a little fewer stop signs. Like you're just coloring. Oh, but it's going well. So do you feel how there's just a different kind of energy to it?
Yeah.
I think it needs that. I think you've cared so much and you've prepared so well. And you're going to keep doing that because I know you and you're diligent and that's exactly what you should be doing. But I think when it comes down to it, just play and like actually play. Don't work, play.
Yeah.
And find the joy. You know, there's this moment. Have I told you about this? I maybe have told you about this before. I was in Maine at this conducting workshop I play for most summers. This was a long time ago. And there was a conductor who stood up. Now, this conductor, she is all of maybe 5'1" at the most. She's this tiny, beautiful, joyful Chinese woman. And she stands up there and she's conducting Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So, you know, no pressure there, right? And it's the very beginning of the last movement with the big cello aria. Dum pum pa da 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 dum ba da 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 dum bum ba bum bum, right? And it's big and it's scary and you've got to set up, you know, Ode to Joy, and there's all the weight of Beethoven, right? And she's conducting and it just was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And the conducting teacher, who is one of my very dear friends and was my college conductor, and just we've become very close over the years. He stands up behind her, and he is maybe one of the scariest people in the world. If you think of scary conductors, you like picture Ken Kiesler in your brain. Like he is terrifying. I'm still a little scared of him, and I'm one of the few people who can like snap him out of a bad mood, and those are hard to do. So he's like, you know, he walks up behind her and he's like, play. Rainbows, puppies, unicorns, and she just like started to like listen. And there was this moment where the dam just burst, and it was like, whoa! And then she gets into it, and she's conducting, and she's in it with the cellos, and it's happening, and she's like, and she's so into it, and she goes on, and sing the song, cellos, and all of us just lost it, and she lost it. But it was this incredible just like catharsis moment, and it was such a turning point for her. And it was this magic that happened to all of us all at the same time because we were in that place playing music that was so good and was about humanity and about what we owe to each other and who God is, and like all those amazing things that came together in that moment. This really terrifying, grumpy man telling her to feel all of those things, and she did. And now she's conducting every major orchestra in the world. She is the Vienna Phil's like assistant conductor. She conducts Berlin. She conducts London. She is having a giant career, and I feel like I was there at the moment where she got it. And that was something very special. And it really was a lesson for me, too, in that moment, because I think sometimes we feel so much responsibility in certain pieces and to certain composers. Bach is one of them. But he's Bach. And Bachliness is next to godliness. like there's something that we owe him for giving us such beauty in this world and such a description of human experience. I think in the end, though, Bach meant for it to be enjoyed. And I think that's what's so powerful about it, is that it is difficult and it is worthy of very serious study, but in the end, the experience is the joy. All right, long story, but it was quite a moment, and it's lasted with me over the years because it was real. I want you to experience that in this. I want you to find the joy of like the love of the music and giving that to people, lending it to people like Bach has lent to us. And just that amazing feeling of being part of someone else's joy. And I think that's an incredible gift. I don't want to say more about that, but I think speeding it up will help you not have time to second guess it or get too fussy about it. It feels risky and it feels a little dangerous, and it is both of those things, but I think that's part of it. Okay. All right, back to all of that. Now, what I'm not expecting is you to have a giant cathartic moment right now. That's not what this is. But I wanted to tell you that story because it's there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what music making really is, especially when the music is truly some of the best art that we've ever been given. There's not a difference in the importance of amateur and professional. There's not a difference in what that gives to the world, or to participate in art and music and literature and poetry. It doesn't matter how good the product is. The act of participation is equally important. If I'm painting a watercolor, or Claude Monet is painting a watercolor. But also I think we have those exceptionally gifted people, and I do say gift because I think it is actually a gift, who have taken that and given the world a blueprint for what that looks like, so that my participation is better, even though I'm never going to approach that. I think Bach and Beethoven and Mahler and Mendelssohn and so many others, and Rebecca Clark, and I think they give us those blueprints, and they allow us to participate in a different kind of conversation than we've ever thought about before. Talk back to him. He's telling you things. He just wants your response. He's not looking for the one or the right one. Just wants to know who you are. That's what you can bring. And you've got a lot of beautiful things to bring, who you are. Let's try it. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Freeze. What are 3 things you love? Just off the top of your head. Ready?
My family.
Your family?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Light.
Light. Cool. Go. Freeze. 3 more things you love.
My home, mountains, and church.
Okay. the exercise I snuck in there. Stop. What do you love? Go.
Yeah.
Stop. What do you love? Go. Why did I put it where I put it?
When I just was, I think, too focused on the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it started to get, when I could feel it starting to get heavy, right? Now, heavy is not bad. And there are moments of struggle in this. And there are moments of flow, and there are moments of light, and there are moments of dark. That's what makes it good. But I think always keeping the joy. I think the joy is absolutely the watchword for that. I think you need to know it's going well. It's going well. It is. There are a lot of notes in this thing, right? There are, and there are some that are still under process. That's okay too. Keep it your process. Keep doing those things. That there's nothing that you are doing wrong here. It's all right. It's all good. Now it's just combining it with the moments of letting go. Not letting go. Letting go is the wrong word. The wrong phrase. It's the moment. It's being in the moment of the joy of the whole experience, and what that can do for you and for others. That's why we play. Oh gosh, that's why we play. It's the thing that makes all of the hard work and all of the pain and all of the frustration and mountain climbing worth it. Yeah. I want you to just find how exciting it is to play this, and to trust that it will be at some point. When you go home for the summer, go play this for your family. Be like, yeah, I think about you during this part. You know, you can tell them that or not, but this is what I mean. It's part of your narrative there.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. I don't want to say more than that. I think that's enough. Okay. It's probably more than enough. So.
Amazing.